Another Marvel Legends Spider-Man, but this isn't Peter Parker, and it's not Scorpion's Dark Avengers suit either. This one's Ai Apaec, the six-armed Spider-God Norman Osborn unleashed as his twisted version of Spider-Man. But here's the curveball, he's from the new Dark Avengers, not the team with Daken, Moonstone, or Bullseye. That's called just Dark Avengers. So, does that make him the first Marvel Legends figure from this newer lineup? I actually thought that was the case until I realized you might already have the rest of the new Dark Avengers hiding on your shelf right now. Before we dive into Team Connection, here is the new Marvel Legends Dark Avengers Spider-Man, and he comes with two head sculpts. And if they look familiar, that's because they're straight from the Secret War Spider-Man. Same head likely means the same height and hands. The body though is completely new, more of that later. The Ai Apaec Spider-Man includes 8 hands total, 4 closed fists and 4 open palm hands. Meanwhile, the Secret War Spider-Man only has 6 hands, 1 pair of closed fists, 1 pair of open palms, and 1 extra pair of web-whipping hands that the Dark Avengers version doesn't include. And yes, you can swap the Secret War's hands if you want 6 open palms on Ai Apaec. Just note there's white paint on those hands, so you may need to hide those or do a custom to remove those paint. Just like the Secret War Spider-Man, there is no sculpted costume details. The spider logo is painted white, and it continues whenever he crunches forward and back. And let's do some articulation as well right here. He can do a full 360 right here as long as you move the other arms away, a bicep swivel. All arms have double jointed pinless elbows. No butterfly joint, there's no space to do that. All of his hands can hinge forward and back. Later, I will compare him to other 6-arm Marvel Legends figures. The problem with having 6 arms is the ab crunch. It's barely there, but there is a little crunch forward and a little crunch backward. It's not that much because the arms do hinder ab crunching. He can do a split really well. He has an upper thigh swivel right here. Double jointed pinless knees, can kick far back like that. Kick forward. He has a boot cut right here swivel, feet can hinge forward and back, and he has an ankle rocker. In terms of his head articulation, he is on a ball peg with a hinge. This gives him a decent range of looking up for web crawling poses. In the comments below, let me know, are you adding Ai Apaec, the Dark Avengers Spider-Man, to your collection? You might already have Scar, one of the members of the new Dark Avengers. Later, we'll discuss more. If you found this review useful, hope you give it a like, give it a hype, subscribe to my channel, and share this with your friends. For places where the figures in this review might still be available, I left some links in the description below.
I'm Tigerknight!
Here is the 6-armed Spider-Man from the More Views 2-pack. There is a slight engineering difference in terms of how Hasbro designed the placement of his arms. From a distance, it seems to be exactly the same, but the new Dark Avengers Spider-Man has more muscle defined. He's more muscular than the old 6-armed Spider-Man, which means his biceps, his shoulder is a bit bigger. So Hasbro needed to adjust the design accordingly. Notice the 6-armed Spider-Man biceps don't overlap. Unlike the new Dark Avengers Spider-Man, because he has larger muscles, the middle arm overlaps with the lower arm. As mentioned a while ago, I thought they were exactly the same. It's also the same assumption I did with Spiral. The position of Spiral's arm forms a triangular shape, and she has a hunch back. The good thing about her design is her long hair covers that hunch. Here you can see clearly that's a triangular shape, which is not the same as the 6-armed Spider-Man or the Dark Avengers Spider-Man. It does make sense that Dark Avengers Spider-Man does not have the same design as Spiral because you don't want to have him with a hunched back. Side by side with the Dark Avengers cover, you can see he doesn't have a hunched back. Despite of the challenge of having 6 arms that can be articulated, Hasbro did a good job in terms of engineering this. Going back to team building the new Dark Avengers, it seems Hasbro has already completed the Dark Avengers. First, we have Scar, which was released last year, 2024, part of the 85th anniversary of Marvel Wave. The next member is the Dark Avengers Thor, which is the Marvel Legends exclusive Ragnarok Deluxe, which was released in 2022, a Target exclusive. The other members may require customization. First up, we have Dark Avengers Miss Marvel. She needs to have black hair and her lower torso does not have any costume covering, so it should be flesh in color. Next is Gorgon, the Dark Wolverine. I made a mistake right here because Gorgon is supposed to be 6 feet 4 inches tall, so maybe the Daken would work, but you need to have the Wolverine claws. Next is Doxy, the Dark Scarlet Witch. Maybe you have another Scarlet Witch that you can use for a custom Doxy. The last one is Trickshot, which is Hawkeye's brother. You can use an old Hawkeye figure where one of his arms is covered. It matches Trickshot's costume. Or you can simply wait for Hasbro to actually release all of the new Dark Avengers. Ai Apaec, the Dark Spider-Man, stands 15.5 centimeters or 6.1 inches tall. Here he is besides other 6-arm figures from the Morbius 2-pack, Spider-Man, and Spiral. Members of the first Dark Avengers, Norman Osborn, Bullseye, Mac Gargan, Scorpion, Daken, Moonstone. Besides some of the Spider-Man in my collection, short teenage Miles Morales, slightly shorter Spider-Man, Secret War Spider-Man, Maximum Series Spider-Man, and Renew Your Vow Spider-Man. The original Retro Spider-Man, Retro Black Suit Spider-Man, Retro Ben Reilly, and we have Scarlet Spider. The main reason why you are completing this wave is the Executioner, along with Enchantress, which I reviewed recently, hope you check that one out, Gamerverse, Thanos, and Psylocke. Other Gamerverse figures, Gargantos, and Gamerverse Juggernaut. Man-Thing, and his fellow Dark Avengers member, Scar. In the comments of my Executioner and Enchantress review, someone asked whether Scar was a reused body for Executioner. It's not the case. You can see Scar is larger than Executioner. 6-inch scale Jada toys, the shortest one is Cammy and the tallest one is Sagat. Executive replicas and loose collector Red Sonja and Philippines Wonder Woman Darna by Halimo Sculptures and Loose Collector. For a 6-inch scale versus 7-inch scale size comparison, Marvel 80 Years Hulk and the Marvel Select Immortal Hulk or the Rampaging Hulk. For packaging, Dark Avengers Spider-Man comes in the new rectangular box where you can see the figure and the accessories. On the side is Dark Avengers Spider-Man. This is the same art at the back. Pause it right now if you want to have a read. Here are the other figures of the Executioner Build-A-Figure wave. You only need 6. Wolverine does not come with any Build-A-Figure part. Here are some warning legalities and not safe for children under 3 years old. On the other side is cover art of Dark Avengers number 188. Bottom is consumer info, recycle, barcode, on top is Marvel. Unboxing the new Dark Avengers Spider-Man. He only comes in one plastic tray. You can see the figure and all of his accessories. The Build-A-Figure part is the right leg of Executioner. Based on what you've seen, is the Dark Avengers Spider-Man a must-add for your collection? Probably if you're into collecting all Spider-Mans. But not the first Dark Avengers because he's not a member of the first Dark Avengers. He is a member of the new Dark Avengers, which is the second iteration of that team. But if you collect members of the Thunderbolts, he is also a must-add. And I hope you consider adding to your watch list are the reviews that I have in the channel. Here is a link on the top right corner of your screen. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this review useful. If you do, please hype, like, share, and subscribe. Hope to see you in the next one.